So let's see which are the contents of this webinar. Part REACH is about REACH compliances, part 1, sorry, and REACH regulation. What is it? The second part, it is how does REACH regulation affect us? And part 2 will be RESINSURF with Jaime Ochoa, your helping hand. The proposed technology and capacitation and technology trends. Okay, so as I have told you already, I work for Rumble Iberia in the health science departments. Here you can find my contact details. And today I'm going to talk about reaching compliances and what is REACH regulation and how does REACH regulation affect the surface treatment sector. Here you can find the agenda. The first point will be a very brief introduction to Rumble. Rumble is a foundation, and we will see details on that. The second part, the second section, is about REACH regulation. The third one will be about surface treatment sector. And the fourth one will be specifically which are the substances that are mainly used in the surface treatment sector and that can be of concern. This is chromium-6, PFAS, boric acid, and cadmium, as an example. In the fifth point, I will abort some details on surface project that has been accomplished in Rumble. And finally, we will comment conclusions and messages to take home. So, introduction to Rumble. Rumble combines deep scientific expertise and technical acumen with a broad global footprint to deliver sustainable solutions. The ultimate objective is to protect human health and the environment. Here you can see that we have offices in many countries all over the world, including Asia and Latin America. But most of the offices are in Europe and the Americas. We are over 18,000 workers, and we are in 35 countries. Here you can see in the circle which are our market. So health science is inside environment and health, and it implies 25% of the overall market. Rumble assists their clients in regulatory compliance, and one of the main regulations is REACH regulation that includes product safety and stewardship. So now let's see what's REACH briefly. But first, I want to show you some data on chemicals. This data come from Eurostat, that you know is the European statistical system. And here you can see which is the production of chemicals in the EU during the period 2013 to 2022. So we are talking on million tons, that's a lot. And by example, for year 2022, you can see that the production was 190 million tons of chemicals. And you can see also in the graphic that some of them possess environmental hazard and some of them possess health hazard. Okay. Next slide shows also from Eurostat which are the chemicals, and these are categorized by the hazards of these chemicals. So at the bottom, you can find the consumption of chemicals that are more hazardous. By example, the purple color is carcinogenic, mutagenic, and reprotoxic. And then going up, they possess lower hazards. So the brown color, the brownish one, will be harmful health hazard. This is just to show you that the consumption of chemicals, this implies a hazard itself. Then that's why REACH was implemented, let's say, in 2006 to try to control these hazards to the public, and also how do they are being introduced in the market. So here you can find the text. As you can see, is 2006 when it was in force. And REACH is the acronym to Registration, Evaluation, Authorization, and Restriction of Chemicals. And here you can see also the European Chemicals Agency that was specifically created to implement and enforce REACH. The objectives of REACH are 5 objectives. First, to protect human health and environment. Second, to protect the European market. Third, transparency in the information. Afterwards, responsibility of the products that are put in the market is transferred to the industry and the users. And finally, to find alternative testing methods to animals testing. So, I mean, it's really important that testing is not realized on animals. So we are encouraging other testing like in vitro testing, I mean, digitalization and any other type. The principles of REACH are the precautionary principle, the principle of transparency of the information, and finally, to inform of substance and uses on a separate basis. This means that a substance that is hazardous can be used in a safety way. So the only thing you have to do is to control the safety measurements so you can do this. So it's not that a substance is going to be banned for all the uses. It depends on the precautionary measures that you are taking into account. So let's continue. Here you can see the acronym of REACH again. So it has like different parts, this regulation. So we can see registry, evaluation, authorization, and finally, restriction and notifications. So we are going to mention a little bit about this. So registry is the first step. There is no use or production or manufacturing of a substances without a registry. Second, the evaluation. This implies that the competent authorities should evaluate some substance that are put on the market in higher amounts, or they possess some hazardous characteristics. Finally, authorization is the third step. That it means that for some of the substance, the companies or enterprises or importers, manufacturers and importers should apply for an authorization to use these substances. And finally, restrictions and notifications that are when a company or a user cannot use the substance in certain uses. So this means that some uses are restricted, but not all the uses of the substances. So let's go to the first step again. Let's go registry on deep. So as I have told you, registry is the first step and is based on the tonnage that you are putting on the market. It depends on the amount you are manufacturing, importing, or using this tonnage. You have to provide some information. This is detailed in the annexes of REACH, but the minimum is the identity, physical-chemical properties, toxicological characteristics, and ecotoxicological characteristics, uses, and the classification and labeling. So there are some substances that are exempted. By example, radioactive substances, they don't need a registry, or non-insulating materials, they don't need a registry. And it is important for the companies to know if a substance is exempted, because, I mean, you will earn a lot of time with this. In the shim, we want to show you how, when you are a registrant, you have to communicate your data. So as you can see, you have to communicate all over your supply chain. You have to send safety data sheets to your downstream users, and also information to the INC, to ECA, like the chemical safety report. Sometimes extended safety data sheets that includes the exposure scenario are also needed. Now we are going to talk about substances of very high concern. This is important because they are a special substance, and we are talking about hazardous that meet the criteria to be classified as, by example, CMR. So they are carcinogenic, mutagenic, or toxic for reproduction under the CLP regulation. This is the classification, labeling, and packaging regulation. Some substances that are also substances of very high concern are PBTs. That means substance that meets the criteria to be considered persisting, bioaccumulable, and toxic, or also VPBV, that are substances that are considered very persistent or very bioaccumulable. And finally, there are other SBHC substances that should be assessed case by case. These are, by example, endocrine disruptors. So all these substances are included in Annex 14, and this means you will need to apply for an authorization to use them. This is a new procedure that I think is very interesting, and it refers to the EXIP database. This is the acronym for Substances of Concern in Articles as Such or in Complex Objects. And it means that when you are producing an article that contains hazardous substance over 0.1%, you should notify ECA. So you will receive a SIP number, and you have to transmit this SIP number to your supply chain, okay? Which is the objective of this? Is to reduce hazards, to encourage substitution, and to contribute to facilitate circular economy. Okay, now we are going to talk about how this affects surface treatment sector. First, you have to know that in your sector, you have several substances of very high concern. The first family, let's say, is chromic acid and its salts. What is known about chromium trioxide, and are all the derivatives that contain chromium 6, okay? You know, you use it for metal finishing, by example, hardcome plating, or also sometimes decorative plating. Also, you use boric acid, and this is used to welding, soldering, and galvanizing. Also, there are some PFAS. These are per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, and they were used as weighting agents and also fume suppressants in the chromium 6 galvanizing baths. And sometimes you use also cadmium, that is used to protect against harsh environmental conditions and to protect against corrosion. So let's go deep on these substances. When we have a chromium plating procedure, a process, you are not using only one substance. You have a lot of them. By example, you are using sulfuric acid, you are using chromic acid, you have sulfate ions, any organic additives, and other buffers and pH adjusters, and also maybe you are using anti-pitting agents or an passivation solutions. This means that you have a complete range of different chemicals in your process. Sometimes cadmium and boric acid are also used in a different process, by example, in anodizing with zinc. And I mean, it is important to know where are they. But why? Because, I mean, when you use these substances, you produce wastewater. I mean, and these wastewater are really polluted with heavy metals mainly, and some of these other metals that are not considered heavy metals, but they are there. Some numbers show that, by example, 2,000 tons of heavy metals are released in Europe from industrial wastewater. And 60% of this amount is released by these countries: Italy, Germany, Spain, and France. So, I mean, we are polluting the environment in a way, and these are the data. You have to know that if you are, I mean, pouring, let's say, 7,000 cubic meters of wastewater per year, up to 10% of these wastewaters contains metals and are produced by the galvanic industry. So we are losing our resources, and we are releasing harmful substances to the environment. So what has REACH done to avoid this is to try to control these substances by introducing them in different annexes. That means obligations for the companies. So, by example, chromium-6 substances were listed in Annex 14 since 2010 and 2011. The first one were like lead chromate molybdate, and so on. Afterwards, in 2013, 16, and 17, more substances were added, like dichromic acid, sodium dichromate, and so on. So what does this mean? That you have to apply for an authorization to use these substances. But now ECHA has realized that there's not time to check and analyze all these authorization, and they are thinking on restriction of these substances. So in September 2023, a restriction process started, and now what is implied, this implies that now this substance will go to Annex 15, so a restriction dossier is being prepared, and they will remove from Annex 14. This is the timing, so it's supposed that ECHA has 12 months to prepare the Annex 15 restriction dossier, but ECHA applies for more time. So now it's extended to 18 months. So it means that the dossier will be finished in April 2025. And here you can see the timeline, because afterwards the ECHA committees should evaluate this dossier and send an opinion to the European Commission that should corroborate and publish this in the official journal of the European Union. And this means that it will be maybe 6 to 12 months after the end of 2026. So for that period, we will have a restriction for chromium-6 substances. Now I'm talking about boric acid. Here, the process is different. Boric acid is included in the authorization process. So all the companies that want to use this substance should apply for an authorization. And now we are going to talk about PFAS substances. PFAS has never been authorized, has never been in the Annex 14, and now is going to be restricted. So that means that the ECHA is also preparing an Annex 15 restriction dossier. and it started in March 2023. So here you can find all the information. More than 10,000 PFAS substances are going to be restricted in all over the sectors, and it will take time. I mean, because they will analyze each sector and each kind of family of substances. Finally, for cadmium, I have to say that cadmium is also restricted, and there is only some of their use are, I mean, authorized for the companies. So these are the substances for the chromium, well, the surface treatment process. And I want to tell you about some of the projects that have been implemented in Ramboll. We have support the companies to provide application for authorization to the ECA. We have prepared about 80% of the surface treatment application for authorization that are in ECA, and this means over 120 application for authorization. We have also contributed for the call for evidence, first and second, related to chromium-6 substances. And we have also helped companies in the call for evidence for the restriction of PFAS to avoid this restriction in some uses. And now Ramboll is helping to inform companies on different sectors through IRs, making articles, technical notes, and short communications. So as a conclusion, I want to go slow here because, I mean, it's very important you take these messages, and is that the galvanizing sector must be fully informed and updated on the different decisions taken by ECA's committee. This is the Risk Assessment Committee and the Socioeconomic Analysis Committee. And these opinions and decisions will affect the future of the business, I mean, because of the bans of some substances. Also, companies must carry out the appropriate processes to comply with the REACH regulation according to the options presented and decided which is the most appropriate by the European Commission. So this means application for authorization or restriction. And finally, to mention that a failure to comply with the regulation can lead to sanctions by the relevant administrative authorities. And potentially, also you can get unsatisfied clients if the information, I mean, the communication through the supply chain is not well transmitted. Okay, finally, I just want to show you which are the teams, the health science teams here in Ramboll, Iberia. We are several, we are 6 people to support the companies, and we are based in 2 different offices in Madrid and Barcelona. And you can contact us through emails or through the webpage, and also you have here the telephone number. Thank you very much for, hearing me, and very happy to answer your question. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Okay, thank you, Ana. And now it's time for Jaime.
Thank you. Okay, my name is Jaime Ochoa, and this presentation was going to be done by me and Georgina Faura. We are the coordinators of the project RESINSURF, which is the project that is funding and has as one of the activities of the project to organize this type of webinar. And okay, this project is funded by the Interreg SUDOE program, and it is an activity co-funded by the European Union. And later we will give you more information about the program. It will be a short presentation just to introduce you the project that is very aligned with the with the presentation that was done before by Anna. And what we will show you is which are the proposed solutions in our project, what we can do through activities we are doing in the project to help you in the future. And I will start just doing a short introduction of the main goal of the project. Okay, the main goal of the project is to develop a common strategy for the replacement of current coatings and surface treatments based on chromium-6 with materials and processes that are promoting intelligent and sustainable growth of the SUDOE space. SUDOE is the southwest area of Europe and is the area funded through the Interreg SUDOE program. And you can see in the map which are the areas that are part of this SUDOE space. The project is organized in two main action lines. From one side, it is the action line 1, in which we are developing technical solutions to replace chromium-6. And there is a second action line, that is the technology transfer and doing some different actions to provide training and capacitation to young professionals and employees. Regarding the technical solutions the project is proposing, the project is organized in two main pilot actions. One of them is focused on chromium-6-free hard chromium coatings. That is one of the main topics in the surface treatment companies in this moment. And the second solution is focused on the development of chromium-free surface treatments and coatings for lighter alloys, but mainly focus on aluminum alloys. I will give you more details in the next slides that you will have available, because this presentation and the one shown before by Anna will be shared with you in PDF version by email, and you will have the possibility to download the presentation in the link of the AYA's website, as commented before by Angels. Okay, regarding the solution 1, just to give you an idea what we are doing in the project. In this solution are participating mainly the research entities CDTech, Surface Engineering, RESINSURF, a French company that is also focused on the development of surface treatments, REACH compliant surface treatments, and Université de Pau, the Pays de la Dour, a university located in the south of France. In the project, what we are doing is to develop chromium-6-free hard chromium coatings using two different type of electrolytes. From one side, one commercial one that is an organic based electrolyte, and there is also an in-house formulated inorganic electrolyte that is provided by RESINSURF that will be also tested, and we will select the best option for the pilot actions. In parallel, we are working in monitoring techniques because the chromium-6-free alternatives need to be better controlled than those using chromium-6, and then we are also doing actions for having new monitoring techniques that could be implemented industrially in the future. And okay, there is a lot of work to characterize the resulting coatings and be sure that they meet the different sectors' requirements. Just to finish with this, what we are doing for this solution 1, there is a pilot action that will be mainly done in the facilities of the French company Chrome d'Or Industriel. Chrome d'Or Industriel is a company located in Nouvelle-Aquitaine region in the department of Charente, and it is an SME that is currently working with Chrome d'Or, as the name of the company says, and they want to apply the chromium-3 based solutions in their facilities and be ready to have them in the near future to replace the Chromium 6 based technologies. In this validation or pilot activities are also participating the Portuguese university, Universidade de Aveiro, and also CDTEC and RESINSURF. Regarding the solution 2, that it is focused on alternative chromium-free solutions for aluminum alloys. It is organized in 2 stages. From one side, we are focusing on pre-treatment test for anodizing and conversion coatings that are more sustainable. And there is a second stage that is for the development of lacquer-based treatments that you can call it another way that maybe is better known by you, anaphoretic electrocoatings. And here we are formulating different lacquers and different way to apply the anaphoretic electrocoating. And one of the solutions that we are testing is the incorporation of corrosion inhibitors that are being developed by the Portuguese SME, Smolmatec, other company that is also located in Aveiro, like the University of Aveiro. In these activities are participating CDTEC, RESINSURF, Smolmatec, University of Aveiro, and Université de Pau de Pays de la Dour. Okay, there is also a pilot activity that to reach higher TRL, and will be implemented in the facilities of the Spanish company Titania. Titania is an SME located in the south of Spain. Sorry, it is located in Cádiz, very close to the Strait of Gibraltar, and this company is working also in sustainable surface treatments. And the idea is that they test and have in the future this technology available for providing these surface treatments for the industry. There is an alternative variant focused on decorative coatings that will be developed and tested for the Portuguese company Prefer, that it is located in Portugal, as I mentioned before. We are also participating with RESINSURF and Universidade de Aveiro. Yes, I'm finishing just in the last slides. Regarding monitoring, we have 2 main activities. From one side, to recondition the established online monitoring technologies to make them easier to be used by industry. And on the other side, we are working in the development and validation of new online monitoring technologies that can be cheaper and easier to be implemented by the surface technologies using companies. Just to explain you what we are doing in the action line 2 regarding capacitation and dissemination and providing transferring the activities to the industry. We will do during the project other webinars like this one. We will do training schools, workshops, open days. There will be a final conference at the end of the project that will be at the end of 2026. And just to show you very fast what are these activities, there will be 4 webinars, at least 4 webinars, 3 of them to be realized in 2025 and 2026. One of them will be focused on chromium 6-free hard chromium coatings. Other one focused on the solutions for light alloys, and other one fully focused on monitoring technologies for these surface treatment processes. All of them will be done in English because it's like a neutral language, because we know main people participating or attending the webinars will be from Portugal, Spain, and France, but I think English is known by all of you. Okay, there will be also training schools, mainly in the last year of the project, in 2026. They will be organized in Universidade de Aveiro in Portugal, Université de Pau et de Pays de la Dour in France, and in collaboration with the University of Cadiz in Spain. And also in the 2026, there will be several workshops that we will try to organize as parallel sessions in renowned fairs and conferences, and there will be in France, in Portugal, and in Spain. You will know about them during the 2025, and you will know more in the next months. And also in 2026, we will organize an open days in which you could have the possibility of visiting our facilities and pilot plants. And they will be organized at CDTech, Kronduch Industrial, and Smolmatech. In this slide, we show which are the project partners, but I think we mentioned before in the other slides. And we have some associated entities. Some of them are companies like Chemplate and Finitech in Spain. Both are surface members of IAS or surface finishing industries. Rambo, that was one of the speakers in this presentation, in this webinar. Don Bosco, that is a school, a professional school, and several platforms like the aerospace platform in Spain, the materials platform in Portugal, and one commerce chamber in Portugal, AIDA. Okay, and just the last two slides to show you what in which you can find information about the project RESINSURF. You can just click this link to have additional information, and also some information about the Interreg Sub program. That is a project, a program co-funded by the European Union, and it is a program to support the regional development and cohesion in the southwest of Europe. And it is funding cooperation projects like RESINSURF. You have here also the QR code in which you can find also the link to the website of the project. And you can find information about us also in the social networks like LinkedIn and X. And that's all from my side. Now we can start with the questions. You can send them through the chat or just ask, unmute your microphone and do the question as you prefer. Thanks for hearing us. And now the floor is yours.